Shalom, we're the brothers from Northern Prophets. My brother Jeremiah. The laptop man is
Yawasip.
the reader today is
Kanawak.
okay. We're gonna expose how the Jews today, the people of Israel, and people in North America running around calling themselves Jews. We're gonna expose how they're not the real biblical Jews, meaning they don't descend from the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They come from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. All right. So I'm gonna go to this book. I want the brother to read this book.
Who is Esau Edom by Charles A. Wiseman or
You
Wiseman.
see all so-called Jews on the front. All right. This book I seen it for like $10 on Amazon used. Right now they got it up. So try to get that book. All right. Go to page 9.
Page 9 here. And where do you want?
Start at
Ashkenazi.
right there. Right there.
This is page 9 of Who is Esau or Edom. The Ashkenazi are the East European Jews which were found in Poland, Russia, Germany, and Western Asia. This group of Jews make up 90% of the so-called Jews in the world.
Alright, so they were found in Poland, in Russia, and in Germany, right? Basically Eastern Europe. So I got this book called The 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler.
The 13th tribe by Arthur Koestler. And he's a so-called rabbi or Jew,
Yeah.
Jewish scholar.
He's Amalek.
And the cameraman, can you zoom in?
Read it? Okay. So the brother just read that these Jews after the Dark Ages, they were found in Poland, Russia, and Eastern Europe basically. Now this is page 180. It says, the mainstream of Jewish migrations did not flow from the Mediterranean across France and Germany to the east and then back again. The stream moved in a consistently western direction from the Caucasus through the Ukraine into Poland and thence into Central Europe. So they were found in Poland, Russia, and all those places. But where did they came from? They came from the Caucasus Mountains.
The heart of it.
All right.
The heart of the Caucasus
that proves
Mountains.
one thing, that they're Caucasians,
Yeah.
because the word Caucasus, the word Caucasian goes back to the word Caucasus Mountains. So they didn't come from Middle East. They came straight from the Caucasus Mountains, and that's where actually the kingdom of Khazaria was. If the brother will pan up on this.
And they actually do come from the Middle East, but from the land of Edom.
Right, but during the Dark Ages,
Yes,
they were in captivity, you know, while the real Jews were ruling during the Dark Ages.
That's right.
So the empire of Khazaria was between the Black and Caspian Sea.
That's right in the heart of the Caucasus Mountains. If
Yeah.
you look at on a map or world
I'm
globe,
showing it right here.
that's there.
You got it? All right. So now,
Can I read this?
go to page 10 now.
Hold on. Wait, can I read this on your point of the Khazars?
Okay, you can read what the Khazars are, because
Yeah.
we're going to prove that you go back to Khazar and then Amalek. So just read the original.
Many reference and historical sources have unequivocally identified that the bulk of the Ashkenazi Jews were derived from a people known as Khazars or Khazars in some texts. The original Jewish Encyclopedia of 1905 revealed that the main stock of the Jews came from this Asiatic people known as Khazar or Khazars. Khazars are people of Turkish origin whose life and history are interwoven with the very beginnings of the history of the Jews of Russia. Historical evidence points to the region of the Urals as some of the Khazars.
Right. That's just showing the Jews are Khazars. The ones that are running around calling those Jews are Khazars.
This is just goes into it again.
Now read the history of it.
Now, this is going into the Khazars, you Gudarites, or so-called Jews.
That's right.
The Khazars were a nomadic people who had no traces of Hebraic culture.
Nomadic means wandering people, so savages. You like to call the Indian savages, but nomadic means you basically run from one area to the other because you have no food or you have no shelter, you don't wear no clothes, you're basically wanderers.
The Khazars were a nomadic people who had no traces of Hebraic culture.
There you go.
They had been following a pagan and sex-oriented religion until they had officially embraced Judaism in 740 AD, because they were just going around, you know, because they were straight up cavemen, and you know, and they saw the real Jews in Constantinople, right? Because we ruled the Byzantine Empire for 1,000 years, and you know, and the Khazars were people who had to, they had to choose in between of converting to Christianity or the Arab religion, and they chose, instead of choosing Christianity or Arab, they chose Judaism, so-called Judaism.
They created Judaism, but they chose basically
our culture,
the lineage, right? The worship, the Jews' worship.
Yeah.
If they chose Christianity, they'd be persecuted by the Arabs, and if they chose Islam, they'd be persecuted by the Christians.
That's right.
So they chose the one that were allied both with them. And they liked the stories of Joshua and Moses and how holy we were, so they took on those customs.
And that's why these so-called Jews is running around claiming that they're Israelites.
That's right. Because they think they can trick God. They're stupid as hell.
Exactly. The Jewish author and historian Arthur Koestler also concludes that the majority of East European Jews, and hence of world Jewry, is of Khazar origin and not of Semitic origin.
So there's your anti-Semitic bullshit right there. Fucking idiots. Go on.
Read all the 10, okay. In the beginning of his book, he states, the large majority of surviving Jews in the world is of Eastern European, and thus perhaps mainly of Khazar origin. If so, this would mean that their ancestors came not from Jordan, but from Volga, not from Canaan, but from the Caucasus.
The Caucasus, there you go.
And that that genetically they are most closely related to the Hun, Yugur, Magyar tribes, then to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
There you go. One second. Okay. Read all this. I just want to get that point across. Read this, the Yiddish language.
Yes,
I want to get that Yiddish bullshit out, because the true language is Lashon Kodash. All right, it's not Yiddish or Syrian, which Yiddish is a fancy form of Assyrian. They add vowels and stuff. So I just want to get that point across. Yiddish.
As the Khazars left their homeland of Khazaria and migrated north and west, they lost their name and became known as Jews.
There you go.
Their Yiddish language and alphabet is not that of the Israelites.
Not of the Israelites.
A Phoenician Greek style.
Which Phoenician was Hebrew, and the Greeks got it from the Phoenicians, who were Israelites.
But an amalgamation. Mixture. But an amalgamation of Aramaic, medieval German, Slovak, and Russian dialects.
Now, I'm going to back him up on Yiddish from the same book, The 13th Tribe, page 172. Further evidence against the supposedly Frankish Rhenish origin of Eastern Jewry is provided by the structure of Yiddish. Yiddish is a curious amalgam of Hebrew, medieval German, Slavonic, and other elements written in Hebrew characters. Now that it is dying out, it has become a subject of much academic research in the United States and Israel. But until well into the 20th century, which is the 1900s, it was considered by Western linguists as merely an odd jargon, hardly worth serious study.